And if we look at the Madagascar asset, the main Tsimiroro reservoir, can you talk a little bit about the characteristics of that and how it compares to your experience at Kern River and Juri?
Well, the first thing that interests me about Tsimiroro is that it's a large asset. It's a large physical asset. It's 65 kilometers by about 10 kilometers. So it's a large field. And as you compare it to a Juri operations, it's larger on the field basis. You actually want to look at what the reservoir characteristics are and how those are a little bit different in this. And Madagascar's Tsimiroro asset, we have porosity differences from a Juri. A Juri may have over 30% porosity. In Tsimiroro, we may have 23-24% porosity. A Juri may have permeability streaks of 1 to 2 millidarcies in certain parts of the field. We have less than that. So what that means for us is that we actually have a asset that is still applicable in a thermal application. Steam flooding will work. We've done the work to prove that the steam flooding will work in this asset here by first starting cyclic steam stimulation. We started that in 2008. We saw the results of that, and we were able to complete that. And then we moved on to steam flooding in our pilot, which has been going on since 2013 for over 2 years, and it is responding similar to other thermal operations around the world.
Can you give a quick summary of where that pilot program is? You declared commerciality last year. The Tsimiroro development plan is in place with the government for approval. What are the next steps? What have you learned so far from the pilot, and what are the next steps for the next few months?
Well, we have a pilot where we have 9 5-spot patterns that we put in place with the pilot. So we have about 16 producing wells thus far. We've actually produced over 170,000 barrels of oil to date out of our pilot. We've demonstrated with the heat or steam that we put in the ground that we've seen thermal response from our wells, from our producing wells. And in doing so, again, it's proven to us that it's consistent, and our steam oil ratios are consistent with other world-class operations. Right. So that makes us believe that, yes, we can further develop this asset as we have here. And that's kind of our plan with our development plan, which was submitted to the government per the POC for approval. And the government is currently evaluating that development plan, and we're awaiting approval from the government. And
you submitted the development plan late last year. What kind of timing do you expect that to be approved in? Do you think the first half of this year, or are we expecting something like the second half, or could it drag on a bit further?
Well, no, we expect, I mean, like I said, we're having an active conversation with the government, and we're hoping that we're going to have some resolution and approval by the first half of this year. Certainly it'll be in 2015, that approval.
If we can turn now to kind of the development schedule. You mentioned that you've got 20 or more wells that you've drilled, but over the course of the lifetime of this project, it will be thousands and thousands of wells. So can you talk a bit about how difficult it is to drill a well? How many wells would you expect to drill for a certain production range, if that's something that you know about at this stage?
Well, we don't use the words difficult with this field because, quite frankly, these wells that we have 100 to 200 meters depth. These are not very, very deep wells. It doesn't require a sophisticated rig to drill these wells. We don't need any new technology associated with completing this well. These are stuff that's already in place now. And yes, when we develop this field, because of the size and the extent of it, eventually we'll get to thousands of wells that we want to drill in here. And our challenge and our goal is to make this as efficient as possible and get better and better as we go about drilling these thousands of wells. I look at it almost like a manufacturing process where we can improve as we go along the way and get significant value through that.
If you need any further information, you can go to the Edison website.